Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, we've had a lot of comments that variant puzzles are very popular. Sudokus with extra constraints that mean that the solve's a little bit different from the classic solve. And I mean, I'm very happy about that because they're, I think, what often makes Sudoku most interesting. I like solving them. We also get a lot of comments about where can people get these from, and there are a number of books available and a number of sites do them, but they're not very commonplace. There aren't really apps developed yet. In some ways, the best recommendation is to sign up to your national affiliated body to the World Sudoku, to the World Puzzle Association. In Britain, for instance, that would be the UK Puzzle Association. And either attend their events or just be in touch with them. They'll have a lot of these puzzles available. So this one came from the UK Puzzle Championship this year, which was held in Croydon. And I didn't attend, but I've been sent the puzzles. So I'm going to have a look at an extra region Sudoku. This may be a little more familiar than a couple of the variants we've done recently. But the extra constraint here, it's normal Sudoku rules plus the extra constraint that these shapes, each of these two shapes must have the numbers 1 to 9 in. You can see that there are 9 cells in each of the shapes. So this is a variant that sometimes appears in papers, but you may have come across it before. If not, just have a go at the puzzle yourself, and I've never seen it before myself. I'll see if I can talk you through a solution. So we'll have a go at this. I'm just solving in Excel here because to put these shapes in, I need something that's not one of the regular solvers. Right, so let's just start down here where I can see we've got 1, 7, 3, 4, 5 in the column and 9, 8, 6 in the row. The only possibility left is a 2 there. And nothing else coming from that. Now, 9 in the top left box must be in one of the bottom 2 cells, and that puts 9 in the top right in one of those two. Normally, when you have all of these 5 cells filled in, that will help considerably. Okay, again, in the central box, we have 5 cells filled in and a 7 there. So that puts a 7 in one of these 2 places, and then 7 in the right-hand box must be in one of those 2 cells. What else can we do? A 1 must similarly be in one of these 2 cells because of the 2 1s that already appear in the boxes across the middle. We might, I'm surprised, look, 8, 9 in column 4 and 8, 9 in column 6. Now that gives us an 8, 9 pair down the middle of the central box, and that has decided where the 7 must go because it can no longer be in one of those 2, they have to be 8 and 9. So that gives us a 6 to complete the box. Now, this is quite interesting and where we can start to use the constraint. Because this 6 is now in this shaded region, it can't be in any of these 3 cells. We've got a 6 here, that 6 itself stops it being in those 2 cells. So 6 must be in one of these 2. And that puts a 6 up here. In the top right box, it must be in one of those 2 because of the 6 that must be in one of these 2. Now, similarly, maybe, yes, exactly the same. No, not exactly the same, sorry. Yeah, but this is useful. This 7 here is in this shaded area. That rules out these 2 cells in the bottom left box. We've also got a 7 there and a 7 there and a 7 there. The last box that the last cell that a 7 can go in this box is right there. And that gives us a 7 in one of those 2 places there. Now, where are we going to put a 1 in this shaded region? That 1 stops it being those 3. That 1 stops it being these 2. That 1 also stops it being these 2. and we have only these 2 cells left. So a 1 must be in one of those because of the constraint. And similarly, it must be over here. And because it can't be in the bottom row in this box, and we've established that row 7's 1 is one of those 2. Now in row 9, the 1 has to be here. That doesn't help us up there, unfortunately. Now, this is quite interesting from another way. Look at this 2. The 2 is stopping any 2 being in the shaded area here or here. This 2 is stopping a 2 appearing in the shaded area here. So the 2 in this shaded area must be in one of these 2 cells. Obviously not the middle one because of that 2. And that's going to limit the 2 in the top box in that set to one of those 2. And again, this is quite appealing but not all that helpful. If you look at how this shape is constrained, there are 8s under both of the long parts of the box. Now that means there's going to be an 8 either here or here. But in Excel, I can't really come up with the notation to make that down, so I'm just going to try and remember it. But probably in a real puzzle setting, I'd be drawing a pencil mark between the 2 boxes just to remind myself, because it may be useful at some point, that there probably will be a 7 and an 8 either there or there, and if it gets ruled out of one, it must be ruled into the other. Now, what else have we got? 5, 4, 3, 7, 1, 2. I think again it's going to be the shapes that give us a starting point. Don't know. What should I be spotting next? 7, 1. Right, the 7 at the top. Well, this is stupid. So I apologise for this. Earlier I said that those 2 7s meant we had a pair of 7s potentially in these 2 boxes, but in fact what I didn't spot was we had a given 7 down here that decided where the 7 went up there. So now that 7 rules 7 out of these 2 cells because it's already in the shape. And given the 7 here and the 7 here, that puts a 7 in one of these 2 cells. And that decides where the 7 goes in this pair that we came up with here. Now that gives us 1, 2, 3 here, 9, 8 here. Because of the 5, 6, 7 there, we know there's a 4 here. Just check that again. We've got 6, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 in this column. So these 3 are 1, 2, 3. That's 9, 8. And because of the 5, 6, 7 there, the only number left there is a 4. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 8, 7. We don't know which of these are 5, 6. I mean, we kind of know it's a 5, 6, 7 group, but we don't know how they resolve. What else have we got going on in this shaded area? I'm looking at 9s in this extra region. We've got a 9 here and a 9 here. Look, and we've got a 9 here. Now that's important that we've established that 9 in this box is in one of those 2 cells because it means it's not in the shaded box. So therefore, no 9 there, no 9 in any of those. The only 9 in this shaded box can possibly be in this cell, and that resolves the 9, 8 pair. Now, is that going to be useful for this box and 8? We've got 7 and 8 already placed in this box. 1 and 2 we know something about. How about 9? No, it's still left in 3 cells. Maybe this one then, where we've learnt about the 9. We've got 9, 6, 7 there. Yeah, we posited that line between these 2 cells where one of them had to be an 8. We now know it's over there. And that puts an 8 here because of this 8 down here. Now we've got 1, 2, 7 up there, 8 there, 5, 6, 4 across the top. This is a 3, 9 box. Let's just go through that again. These three cells must be 1, 2, 7 because of the others below them. And then across the top, we've actually got 5, 6, 8, 4, as well as that 1, 2, 7. The only two numbers that can fit into these two cells are 3 and 9. So they must be in that order. Now that puts the 3 in the box here, in the shaded region, because we know this is a 1, 2, 3 combination from what's below it. And this 3, 9 pair means that there must be a 3 in the shaded region there. So we've got 9, 6, 7, 8. There is a 3 in the shaded region. Now look, sorry, actually, because of that 3, we know exactly where the 3 is. And it is up here. So this is a 1, 2 pair for the box. 3, 8, 9, 6, 7. We've got 1, 4, 2, 5 to fill in the box, in the shaded region remaining. 1 is ruled out from there, but it's possible there and there. No, okay, that's not the way to go at this point. 1, 2, 3, 9, 8. These are 1, 2, 7 in some order. And in fact, the top one can't be a 7 because there's a 7 in that row already. So these 3 are 4, 5, and 6. And look at that 4. That's resolving exactly how they all go. So this becomes a 7. There's a 5, 6 pair now there. 4, 3, 8 must be in the top part of that 2 by 2 box. Now in this shaded region we now have 9, 6, 7, 4, 8, 3. This one can't be a 5, so 5 must be in one of the remaining 2 shaded cells, which we could have told from that 5 and that 5 anyway. 6, 8, 9, 3. And it can't be in this one because of the 5 right next to it. Sorry, that's very obvious. I keep missing things today, but you've kind of got to concentrate on so many aspects when you have the extra constraints. That sometimes the obvious things slip by you. So don't be too annoyed with me if you're shouting at the screen going, that's obvious, you can see that now, because you can't focus on everything all the time. 3 in one of those 2. 7, 8, 5, 3. And this isn't meant to be a perfect solve. This is just how I would get through it. Now the first column, still missing a 9, 8 and a 6. And we do have 2 8s. We probably had them for a long time. So that's the sort of thing you might have been shouting at. So we've got 1 and 2 left to place in this shaded region, but I still can't be absolutely sure which is which of those. 7, 8, 9, 3. Let's have a look at this shaded region. 4, 7, 9, 3, 8, 1. So these have to be 2 and either 5 or 6. So 4 and 3 are in this column, but I don't know which is which, I'm afraid. How about in the rest of the box? In the rest of the shaded region, 8 has to be one of these 2 in central 3 boxes. 5, 8, 9, 1, 2, 7. I'm missing something fairly straightforward here because I think we're getting very close to having this finished now. And I accept this is where Snyder notation may be not all that helpful. If we'd reduced it to candidates, we may be seeing something very straightforward here. But I'm not yet. No, thought I'd seen something there. 6, 9 or 6, 9. I mean, I am also, right, yes, look, I put an 8 in these 2 cells, but I can also put a 5 in those because of the 5 here and the 5 here. So that's a 5, 8 pair. This 6, I think, has been obvious for a while, and I didn't spot it. That puts a 6 along the bottom of this somewhere, and it can't be in the middle one. 7, 1, 5, 8, 2, 6, 3. This is 4 or 9. 3's up there. 8. Oh, and this 5-8 pair is resolved because there's an 8 in the shaded area. Again, it's not the sort of thing we normally look for, so not all that obvious to me. Now, we've got a 5 in the grey area. That rules out a 5 from those two. So in this box, there can't be a 5 in that row because of this 5. There must be a 5 in one of those, and that 5 again decides where the 5 is there. So now we've got 3 and 4 to place along the bottom. 8, 7, 5. What else have we got to go in the shaded box? We've got a 9, but that could be in any of these 3. Come on, there's got to be something coming out now. 7, 8, 5. We've got a 1 there. We've got a 2 there. Can we be any more sure on any other number? Not obviously. 6, 9 must go across the bottom of this box, but I can't see necessarily which one. So down here, look, there's a 5 in row 8 and a 5 in row 9. So the 5 in row 7 has to be in one of these two, and we've already got a 5 in the shaded box. So there we go. That's something we needed to see, I think. We can finish this column with a 2. Now that's keeping a... Yeah, no, we knew that there was going to be a 2 in one of those. 5 to 1, but we've got a 6, 4, 3 set going on down here. Now, what else have we got in the box? There? In the region, we've got 7, 8, 5. 2 has to be one of those. These could be 3, 4, or 6. 1's down here. How does that 2 help? It puts a 2 in one of these cells, but still don't know about 9 or... And because the 6 has to be in one of these two cells, it's in the shape. That means this one is not a 6. So the 6 goes here. That resolves column 1. 3, 2. This has to be 4 or 9, but we don't know which. 8, 9, 2, 7, 5. 4 has to be here, outside the shape, and preventing 4 from being in the shape in any of those cells or that one. So 4 has to be in the shape in one of these two cells. Look at that again. We know from this 4 and the blanks in this box that 4 has to be in one of these two cells. Whichever one it's in, 4 can't be in the grey shape there or there. So 4 has to be in one of these two cells. Again, this 4 prevents it from being in this cell. So 4 must be here. And that very much gets us on the final track. This one is 6. This is a 1, 3 pair. This is a 2, 9 pair. They'll obviously be resolved in due course. This is a 1, 3 pair. And this shape is filling up now. 1, 3, 4, 7, 6, 8, 5. These must be 2 and 9. 3 and 4 to go in here. And that resolves the 1, 3 pair that we just came up with. We've got 2, 9, and 1 to go in that box. That resolves the 2, 1 pair up here. That makes that a 2, 1, 7. We've got a 4 in there, and we must be very nearly finished now. Ooh, yes, I mean this last bit has to be resolved by the extra region. We've got a 1 and a 2 to go into this box, and we've already got a 2 in the shape. So 1, 2 there, 2, 9 there, 9, 3 there, and 3, 1 there. I mean, it's an entertaining solve. Nice puzzle, that, and very enjoyable. I hope you had a go at it first, and I hope you enjoyed the I want to call it a logical solution path, but I think I struggled a bit with some parts of that. You were probably seeing things ahead of me, and well done if you were. That's the perils of doing a kind of live solve. Thanks very much for watching. Do feel free to subscribe, to hit the alert button, to sponsor us on Patreon. But just enjoy your Sudoku. Thanks very much, and see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic.